Whose wrench is this?
I don't know. Nobody's?
It's in a dumb spot.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh, 'tis but a flesh wound. We're out here in the shop working on the old K10 today. We're actually going to get those Speedy's mufflers in. How about that? Story time. So thinking about it a little bit here, I probably didn't really tell you guys anything about my old pickup truck here. I just kind of went into showing you guys wheels and stuff without any backstory on what it is. But it's an 86 Chevrolet K10. I've had this truck for probably about 10 years or so. I traded a 97 half-ton Chevy pickup to my uncle for this thing, and this thing was a pile when I got it. I mean, it still is a pile, but it was even more back then, so there was a lot of rust on it. Damn near all of the panels on this thing are not original to it. That's okay. But yeah, I've had it for a long time. I daily drove it for probably 6-7 years or so, and then I got a much newer car. And I started driving that because it was just a little bit more pleasant. Wrong! But, you know, that's how life goes. But yeah, it's nothing crazy, just a half-ton. It's got a 350 in it, 700 R4, 208 transfer case, you know, 10-bolt front and rear. So, but yeah, that's just a little bit of story time on what it is and how long I've had it and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and chop out that old exhaust. So here's what we have to work with. It's kind of a mix of 2.5 inch and 2 1/4 inch pipe. MagnaFlow mufflers, and just side exit out the back. But it's pretty crusty and ugly, and there's a shit ton of exhaust clamps in there. Oh, it's like some idiot worked on it or something before, I don't know. Oh wait, that was me. Yeah, not my best work, but today we're gonna go ahead and rectify that and get this stuff cleaned up and get some cool mufflers on there. So first things first, we're gonna unbolt our header reducers, which I call header collectors about 19 billion times in this video, and then we're just gonna lop everything else out after that. Easy peasy. Once that's done, okay, so our exhaust is all out. Now we can start mocking up our new stuff. You guys didn't think I would let you go without hearing an open headers, did ya? Wow. Okay, so now that we have all the old stuff out, we can start mocking up some new stuff under there. One thing is I do have to retain the passenger side pipe coming off the header because it's got this crazy bend in it. I don't have a great way of replicating that at the moment, so we're going to go ahead and just reuse this pipe because it's not in terrible shape. There's no through holes on it any place. So, but one thing we'll have to do is chop out this old reducer here, or header collector, because so this pipe here was not me originally. This was on the truck when I got the truck, and as you can see, they boogered up a 2 1/4 inch header collector in order to get into this 2.5 inch pipe. So we want to retain this 2.5 inch pipe because that's going to be the size that the rest of our exhaust is going to be. So I do have some new collectors that we're going to put in here. So we'll lop this guy off, slide that into piece, slide it under, see how it fits, and kind of go from there. Okay, so now that we got that old collector off, like, oh, holy shit. What do I got going on here? It's like a tree. Look at that. You can tell its age. We got 1, 2, 3 pipes going on there. Look, I'm a hack, but I'm not that much of a hack. Good Lord. All right. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That was the collect. I guess that's one way of doing it. Really dumb. Whatever. All right. Well, we'll take a file to this and kind of clean that out a little bit, but it's not too bad on the inside. So here's our new collector. Look at that. It's the right size. Who would have thunk using the correct size was what you should probably do. Okay, so I crawled under and I mocked up the passenger side pipe coming off the header with the new collector. As you can see, I marked roughly where I wanted it to be. I bolted this up to the header itself and then lined up the pipe to where it fit nicely and didn't interfere with the chassis or the transfer case or anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and tack this in place and then go ahead and make sure that it fits again, and then we'll finalize this first weld. Alright, we got a couple tacks on there. Now let's take it back under the truck and see how it fits. Okay, so fitting on the passenger side is a little tricky because it gets pretty tight between the frame rail and the transfer case. So here I'm just making sure that I'm not hitting either of those and it's not, close enough to like the speedo cable and that type of deal. So just want to test fit that before we get our final weld on the reducer for our existing pipe here. Not pretty, but they are welds, so good enough for me. Okay, let's start fitting our driver's side. See how that goes. So the driver's side was very easy to fit. It was a straight shot, so didn't have to do much work there, which was awesome. Alright, well, I'm an idiot and didn't hit record when I started welding the driver's side here. So, well, there it is. Like I said, not a professional welder, but good enough for the truck that it's going on. So let's crawl under and start fitting the rest of this. Now here's a stage that I think we've all been through, laying under the vehicle that you're working on and contemplating life. So here I'm deciding how I want to actually mount the mufflers and how I want them to sit. So obviously the drive shaft is pretty close to them if they, kind of sit flat. So I decided to kind of angle them upwards a little bit and then kind of try and fit some down pipes too. So. So again, I'm an idiot and didn't record me actually installing the finished welded driver's side pipe into the truck. But, well, I guess who cares? Moving on. I am now fitting the down pipe for the passenger side. And if you look closely, it is cheaper auto parts store once used 45-degree elbows, because I didn't have any decent mandrel bent stuff lying around, so I yanked those out of an old exhaust I had laying around, and you know what? They're going in it. Doesn't matter for this trip. Alright, so the final install on the passenger side. Let's get this thing in, ignore that really ugly looking weld, and see what this thing sounds like. Or hear, rather. And that was me putting shitty exhaust on my shitty old truck. Now, in all reality, those mufflers are pretty awesome. Speedy's mufflers, Speedy's equipment, Tom's refurb. They're Speedy 10s. I don't know if he's got any more in stock, but go check him out. That dude's pretty cool. Yeah, if you like the new exhaust, let me know. If you like the old exhaust, let me know. More stuff on this pickup and some other pickups and other hot rods to come. Yeah, I don't know. Keep wrenching.